Thank you for honoring the invitation. My name is Joseph Ngala. I'm from the city of Mbombela. I'll be the program director for the day. Are we excited? Can I see the smiles, at least? Honorable Executive Mayor, thank you very much for being here. We appreciate your being here. We also want to acknowledge the presence of the leadership from DECO and in all your respective portfolios. Nebaqashi bami, the honorable councillors are here, and all the other stakeholders. I'm reliably informed that we've got people from APSA. As we can see, their banner is there. And UNISA, of course. And all the sectors that are represented here. We thank you for honoring this invitation. But before we can start, would request that we all stand for the national anthem. And niyalazi udaba ke madoda igqoko and we all stand still. Nobody will be putting a hand anywhere. We don't have the president in our midst. So we just stand like that. The national anthem, please, DJ. Thank you very much. With that, we can all be seated. DJ, if you don't mind, the decibels are a bit high. We don't want to get out of here without eardrums. So if you could please manage that. Thank you so much. You are welcome to the city of Mbombela, the city of excellence. We're rolling with accolades every day. We would like to be welcomed properly, but before we do so, bomake ngicela ningingenisele enyangeni yabomake ngicela ningingenisele sodolobha wami ngendlela yakhona. Oh yeah, no, I've just realized that. So I distract. No. I need a tape. Give me a red tape. Who's? Ah! partnership with UNIS. We were just hosting them. Sebashaya yekuphuma, sebaphuma, sebashaya yekuphuma. Batawubuya ngawari. Maketala batawubuya. Hayi wena. Awusuka man. Hey. Hayi. La. Huh? Asishaya intandla sebaphuma. Executive Mayor.
Thank you very much, Omage and Program Director. Good morning to yourself. Good morning to the esteemed members that are here, be it from DERCO, be it from APSA, be it from UNISA, and all the stakeholders that are here. Special greetings to the fellow councillors that are also here as part of these engagements, the leaders of business and academic institutions that are also part of this engagement, the employees of the city of Mbombela as led by the General Manager of City Planning, Dr. Mlaudzi, the members of the media, all the distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Nabo Mama Laba Pumala, a very good morning to yourselves. How do I then stand here and wish you another welcome or bid you welcome in this city after you have seen what you've just seen now? Aguko, another welcome in this city that beats what you have just seen now. This is what the city of Mbombela represents. This is the ultimate destination. This is the city of excellence, rich in culture, rich in arts. Program Director, as I welcome all guests and stakeholders on behalf of the citizens of the city of Mbombela and the beautiful province of Mpumalanga. We want to applaud the foresight by the Department of International Relations and Cooperation, partnering with the University of South Africa to have this program where we engage with citizens from all sectors of society in South Africa's perspective of the presidency of the G20. It is indeed a defining moment for the history of our country, as we already witnessed through the engagements we have had through the different working groups since the announcement was made after the conclusion of the G20 summit, which was hosted by Brazil, Rio de Janeiro, in 18 and 19 November of 2024. Esteemed guests and stakeholders, this province over the years has distinguished itself as the pioneering spirit, and the city has taken a decision to be the ultimate destination for every imaginable event. Indeed, hardly a month after South Africa's assumption of the G20 presidency, the city has hosted a number of ambassadors from across the globe and presented our case that we would like them to take note of what we can offer as a province and particularly as a city. This was followed by a series of engagements through the working groups within the G20. South Africa's G20 presidency in 2025 stands as a defining moment ready to shape global dialogues and promote peace and stability. The country's G20 presidency presents a strategic opportunity to enact significant change in global governance. North-South cooperation, global South-South cooperation, where South Africa seeks to support regional and continental processes to respond to and resolve crises, strengthen regional integration, significantly increase intra-African trade, and champion sustainable development and opportunities in Africa. The Department of International Relations and Cooperation, as part of its mandate of advocating economic development, social development, and peace and security of multilateral, has put together this outreach program. I was saying to the other stakeholders, I speak very fast. I hope all of you can hear me. Maybe I'll try to just, I'll probably try to tone down a bit so that everyone can probably hear me. This G20 Town Hall outreach aims to engage South Africans on the significance, objectives, and benefits of South Africa's G20 presidency and solicit inputs from non-state actors and civil society. The engagement will also focus more broadly on South Africa's foreign policy, including issues as human rights, peace, and security. The collaboration with institutions of higher learning like UNISA will ensure that the department and government as a whole do achieve that mandate. To all the sectors invited here today, we would like to implore you to take advantage of the opportunities of cooperation our country and province have to offer for mutual benefit henceforth, as you will be exposed to many such offerings during the course of this session from a myriad of leaders of different sectors through the panel discussions. We are very optimistic and already looking forward to your inputs and positive feedback by the end of the session. Tourism, mining, agriculture, and manufacturing are some of our strongest growth points in this province and the city. We hope that through this presidency, our province and city will also realize direct foreign investment henceforth. City of Mbombela confirms its unwavering support to this program. You are all urged to continue to be good ambassadors of this province whenever you step out to visit, either for business or leisure, just as indicated by the minister recently when engaging with stakeholders amid the looming US 30% tariff debacle, which comes into effect, unfortunately, today. We really need to begin to diversify our market outflows for the sustainability of our businesses. Program Director, I would be doing great injustice to all the women of our city and the province if I, as the woman leader, do not reflect on the month wherein we are supposed to honor and appreciate the pioneering spirit of those women of 1956 who defied all odds and faced the apartheid regime head-on, thereby sowing a seed of freedom we enjoy today. It is, however, disheartening to learn about men in society who still see women as less than human beings. Our observation is that the onslaught on women seems to intensify during Women's Month. We will, however, not be deterred in saluting the women of our country, especially those who continue to inspire hope, tackle social economic issues, and lead from the front despite all these challenges. I would love to welcome you and wish all of you well as we collectively chart the way forward, breaking new grounds and expanding new horizons. You are indeed welcome into the city of Mbombela, the city of excellence, the ultimate destination. I thank you.
Another round of applause, please. Executive Mayor ngicabanga ukuthi we can take Q&A and go home. You've just done it all. Let's just take Q&A and see how people are excited and go home. Thank you so much, Executive Mayor, for those welcoming statements. And kubo mage labakhona phakathi kwethu siyanhlonipha siyanithanza asifani ke nalabo babe le executive mayor bekakhuluma ngabo la Honorable PV Mashego thina asifani nabo siyanithanza, we appreciate, we honor you. We're looking back down the years 59 years ago when we as men could not even meet and then march towards the union building. Over 20,000 of them showed us how it's done. And I'm told that on the day, the Prime Minister then ran away from the office when he saw these multitudes of women marching towards the union building. Wabalega. Thank you so much, Executive Mayor. Yes, indeed, we are excited about the G20 presidency. We might not be hosting it as a city, hosting all these countries in November, but we are feeling it. And indeed, it's true, Executive Mayor, hardly a month after it was announced, we had all the ambassadors descending to our seat. That just shows a good surprise that we are indeed the ultimate destination. Thank you so much, Executive Mayor. Without any further ado, we would like now to call on stage, Executive Mayor ushayile le. We would like to call on stage Prof. Begimamba to give us his remarks on behalf of the University of South Africa. Don't be disheartened, Prof. Very bomage bangat bayiqala lendo. Thina labanye we are yasishaya. But thank you so much, Asimshayile Ntandla, Prof. Begimamba from the university.
Program Director, Mr. Joseph Ngala, who is Head of Communications at the City of Mbombela. Thank you for the opportunity. And I would like to recognize our host, Councillor Sibongile Makushe Mazibuko, who is the Executive Mayor of the City of Mbombela. Ms. Ntabiseng Malifane from the Department of International Relations and Cooperation, DERCO. I'll also recognize my boss, my line manager, the Principal and Vice Chancellor of the University of South Africa, Professor Puleng Lenkapula, who sends her apology, who couldn't be here. I'm Professor Begimamba, the Executive Dean of the College of Science, Engineering and Technology at UNISA. And we'd like to recognize the members of the Diplomatic Corps who are here representing various countries, and Dr. Mlawuzi, the Head of Strategic Management at the City of Mbombela, our moderators and QA, Dr. Bongiwe Mphahlele from the Thabo Mbeki School of Public and International Affairs, and also to thank the panelists who will be here today, Mr. Edmond Chirwa, who is Communications and Stakeholder Relations Coordinator at the Barberton Mine, Dr. A.T. Sambo, who is the Deputy Director at Agricultural Statistics, Ms. Linda Greenberg, CEO of Kruger Lowfeld Chambers of Business and Tourism, and Ms. Ndu Luandle, Area Manager of SMMEs for ABSA. The entertainers of the day, the Umpongolo Vumelwano Cultural Group, student representatives who are here in attendance, representatives from the national, provincial, local government and legal representatives and business communities, political parties, research institutes, civil society, various media groups, the community of Mbombela, members of the university community who are here, and various foundations that are represented here. Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to this auspicious occasion. As I've mentioned, the Vice Chancellor would have loved to be here because this was one of her brainchild, one of the great ideas that she followed through when it was launched at the University of South Africa at the beginning of this year, around May, and where we launched this G20, sort of like pre-sessions, culminating to the major one towards the end of this year. And we stand here at this beautiful city of Mbombela. I was last year about 10 years ago, and it was very small, but this city is growing in leaps and bounds, and it's so clean. Thank you, Mayor. I was very impressed. Please give a round of applause. This city is located at the heart of Mpumalanga province, and we would like to welcome you to this August G20 community engagement at the town of Mpumalanga and Mbombela. I do so deeply with humility and great appreciation for the significance of this gathering. Program Director, please allow me to begin by standing on the shoulders of the giants, the towering leadership of the University of South Africa, the Department of International Relations and Cooperation, and the Mbombela municipality. It is upon these that I come before you and I say, good morning, Sanibonani, Kuremor, and Absheni, and Lochane. You're not responding. Yes. As you all know, as the country in this month, we remember the courage, unity, and the determination of the more than 20,000 women who marched to the Union buildings in 1956 against unjust past laws. At the University of South Africa, UNISA, we do more than remember that memorable historic moment. We act. We continue to stand firmly for the empowerment of women, the advancement of gender equality, and the creation of inclusive spaces where all people, irrespective of the gender and sexuality, can thrive. From this Africa's leading comprehensive open-distance e-learning university, I would like to convey the message of welcome and solidarity from our Chancellor, His Excellency Dr. Thabo Mbeki, who is the former President of the Republic of South Africa, the UNISA Council Chair, Dr. D.D. Mosia, and our Principal and Vice Chancellor, Professor Pulengeka Pule, in whose shoes I was requested to step in this morning, as well as the entire UNISA epistemic community that is here. As we all gather here today, let me assure you that we are joined virtually by colleagues and students from all over South Africa, the continent, and indeed the whole globe. That, in my view, is the power of a university such as UNISA, a comprehensive open-distance e-learning institution that was established in 1873, the first of its kind in the whole world, and we have been doing this for over 150 years. We're especially proud and honored as South Africa prepares to host the G20 summit at the end of this year. It is my considered opinion that this moment is not only a diplomatic milestone, but a moment of renewal and opportunity, a moment that is poised to elevate international cooperation and significantly enhance travel, trade, and development across South Africa. The hosting of such a prestigious international summit thus carries with it the potential to stimulate substantial economic activity within the host nation. With the anticipated participation from 19 countries, alongside the African Union and the European Union, as well as thousands of international guests who will descend upon our shores, a unique opportunity to elevate the country's standing in the world stage is availed. It is anticipated that the summit will serve as a catalyst for economic development, generating employment opportunities, and fostering initiatives that support global development agendas. Ladies and gentlemen, during the summit, South Africa, and particularly this beautiful province, will be eager to showcase its capabilities, its natural beauty, and the resilience of its people, while also nurturing a constructive dialogue among the nations. Today's theme, financial inclusion for economic development, creating access to benefit grassroots economies, is both timely and urgent. It reminds us that economic transformation must not remain in the boardrooms and in summit halls alone. It must reach the village, the township, the informal trader, the smallholder farmer, the youth, the single parent, and the unemployed graduate alike. True financial inclusion is more than bank accounts or mobile transactions. It's about access to opportunity, the recognition of human dignity, and the empowerment of communities. True financial inclusion is about designing systems of justice, not charity, and about creating ecosystems where grassroots voices are not only heard, but they are acted upon. On the panel are people representing a rich diversity of sectors, from mining, agriculture, and tourism to youth organizations, civil society, the business forum, and women's movements. This broad representation reminds us that our collective efforts across public, private, and civic spaces are essential to drive the change we seek and the Africa that we want. Program Director, we need to remind ourselves that the G20 is not only a diplomatic spectacle, it is a strategic lever for transformation, particularly in provinces such as Mpumalanga. The Mpumalanga province, with its strategic location and abundant resources, must seize this opportunity to position itself as a hub of growth and innovation, especially in the areas of tourism, international investment, mining, agriculture, and trade. In the short term, we can anticipate increased activity in hospitality and retail, while in the long term, sustainable benefits that directly address the socio-economic challenges that face our people can be expected. Considering the preceding, one can argue that the G20 summit has significant potential to impact skill development for women and the society at large. With Mpumalanga's geographic location of being bordered by Mozambique, Eswatini, and connected with historical ties with countries like Malawi, there is a unique opportunity to explore possibilities of building stronger regional economies, manage migration more humanly, and craft solutions that sustain life and livelihoods for our people. I am of the view that the collaboration between these countries can enable the countries to forge trade routes, share technologies, co-invest in infrastructure, and deepen academic and cultural exchanges. By collaborating with these and other countries, Mpumalanga can play a crucial role in enhancing skill development opportunities for women and youth, which would hopefully lead to greater economic growth, equality, social development within the province. We do so being persuaded by the fact that solutions to Africa's problems lie within Africa. Thus, our destiny as Africans is bound together. Mpumalanga can be a gateway of hope, not a fence of division. Ladies and gentlemen, I will not go deeper about what this vibrant province has to offer in our efforts towards the final inclusion of those in the margins of our communities. Let me leave the detailed engagement on the subject to the panel of experts in our midst. Chair, as I conclude, may I appeal to this town hall that this will not be the end, but a beginning. May the platform be used for genuine community engagement. May this be a space of free ideation and frank debate that will eventually find expression in the G20 policy frameworks as central pillars for sustainable development. May we do so remembering that grassroots economies are not mundane, they are foundational to a truly inclusive growth. Welcome to the Mpumalanga G20 Community Engagement Town Hall. We thank you in advance and we appreciate you. And this is the Vice Chancellor of the University of South Africa conveying her congratulations to you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Umnanzi kuba program director bakulungisela nje into. Thank you so much, Prof Mamba. Siyabonga Mamba Lembofu. Executive Mayor angathi noma uyathini ukuthi la uhlela khona kaBhokweni livele baka Mamba. If you didn't know, now you know. Laba baka Bhokweni lapha kaBhokweni lo Bhokweni Mamba ngibogininza Mamba Lembofu. Thank you so much for giving us your remarks. You represented the Vice Chancellor very well, Bab Mamba. Stamatisa kutsaika umlayeto sutfoli. The Prof talked about our strategic location as the province. We're not just a fence-off kind of province, but we are a gateway into the region. It doesn't end here. This is the beginning. Labo mage, labaphekako lapha, ningamangali kusasa niseva lomunye lo wanawa ama-flag nawa lalala bomnakethu leleni gunda tinwele lapha nginibonile ngemathuba latawuvulwa ngile summit ye G20 ngimbonile na chairperson we informal traders babe kusile wakithi asikanibideli kutococa story nje sifuna lokunatisa lokuthi yebo kutabe letingcoco kutabe tisejozi kepha ke sila would also be benefiting henceforth ushilo executive mayor kuningi lokusatovuleka intra-Africa trade ubalile prof lana kutsi ngaphandle kwaseSwatini naseMozambique uyangena la eMozambique uphumele eMalawi mayor utsite we need to begin to diversify our outflows. This is the opportunity bengimane nje ngisika kwelijikayo. Thank you very much, Prof. Now to set the scene and to indicate our state of readiness. Uferes ons, Ratslet Rix, Uferes ons mediri G20 story. We will then call upon Ms. Tabiseng Malefane from DECO just to take us through and setting the scene. Ms. Malefane. Tandla. Oh, like really.
I would like to start by recognizing the executive mayor, the leadership of UNISA. I'm happy to be in this beautiful province of Mpumalanga. I don't come here often. Nyabingelela nonke bongwane sanibonani. As you may be aware, the G20 is an international forum focusing on global economic cooperation. It brings together the world's largest economies to address major global issues. Therefore, South Africa sees the G20 presidency not only as a deep honor and privilege, but also as a huge responsibility. Our presidency implies great obligations to the Global South and Africa in particular. South Africa's G20 presidency comes at a time when the world is facing severe and relentless challenges that are testing our global humanity and the solidarity among nations. That was the bedrock of the formation of the United Nations 8 years ago. This includes reversals for sustainable development, particularly in developing countries, brought about by the devastating impact of conflicts, climate disasters, hunger and inequality, and us as South Africa, we've experienced our fair share of this. Rising nationalism, protectionism, and geographical interests threaten international cooperation, global economic growth, and innovation. Across the world, billions of people are affected by underdevelopment, inequality, poverty, hunger, and unemployment. These are challenges which jeopardize our collective future. These challenges
are interconnected and require responses that are inclusive and coordinated. We must seize this moment of crisis to innovate and drive sustainable solutions. In the current geopolitical and geoeconomic global headwinds, there are high expectations on South Africa to deliver positive outcomes, advance innovative solutions to global challenges, and rebuild the trust of the international community in the G20. To respond to these challenges, South Africa has placed solidarity, equality, and sustainability at the center of its G20 presidency. We firmly believe that our challenges can only be resolved through cooperation, collaboration, and partnership, because no challenge, no triumph exists in isolation. The young people like surprise, they say #Rekaofela. We are continuing the excellent work by our predecessors, particularly countries of the Global South. Indonesia in 2022, India in 2023, and Brazil in 2024. We therefore continue to amplify and further integrate the voice of the Global South in the G20 agenda. As South Africa, we have repeatedly said, we will continue to say, the world needs more diplomacy, more collaboration, and more partnership. Confrontation and unilateral actions will continue to undermine our rules-based international system, entrenching inequality, unraveling global solidarity, and creating the potential for irreversible fragmentation. South Africa's overarching priorities include strengthening disaster resilience and response, ensuring debt sustainability for low-income countries, mobilizing finance for a just energy transition, and harnessing critical minerals for inclusive growth and development. We are also focusing on addressing issues such as food security, inclusive economic growth, industrialization, employment and reduced inequality, and artificial intelligence, data governance and innovation for sustainable development. We are further championing broader and cross-cutting issues, such as the reform of the multilateral trading system and the international financial architecture, including strengthening of multilateral development banks, addressing climate change, promoting diversity, equity, and inclusion, advocating for gender equality, pursuing enhanced international tax cooperation, and addressing illicit financial flows, as well as exploring ways to increase the predictability, scale, and flows of climate finance, which is critical to enable the just transition and mitigation and adaptation efforts. At the 2024 Rio de Janeiro Summit, G20 leaders made a commitment to evaluate the G20's first full cycle of presidencies under South Africa's presidency, and to provide recommendations to the second cycle, including a roadmap for future presidencies. They also reiterated the ambition for the G20 to remain the premier forum for international economic cooperation. In this spirit, South Africa's 2025 G20 presidency is championing a review, which we call G20 at 20, that reflects on G20's achievements and working methods since 2008 as a proposed leaders-level outcome. Since officially assuming the G20 presidency on 1 December 2024, South Africa has convened 87 meetings across the Shepherd Track and Finance Track working groups, including the 3 task forces established by our presidency. There are a total of 132 official meetings and intergovernmental meetings on our G20 calendar, so we've just sort of gone past the halfway mark. These meetings discuss some of the most important and urgent challenges facing the global community, reflecting our strong determination to seek sustainable and innovative solutions through dialogue, collaboration, and cooperation. From the recent meetings, it is important to note that whilst there are divergences on some issues, as it is to be expected in multilateral engagements, there is overwhelming support for South Africa's priorities by G20 members. The African continent is at the center of South Africa's G20 presidency. All of South Africa's priorities are aligned to that of Agenda 2063, the Africa we want. The African Union's 6 priorities for its participation in the G20 all find expression in South Africa's theme, task forces, high-level deliverables, and priorities to be advanced in the various working groups under both the Sherpa and finance tracks. Our 4 overarching priorities all speak directly to the interests and priorities of the African continent. To this end, we are also convening meetings in several African countries, including a Task Force 2 food security meeting that will be convened in Cairo, Egypt, a Compact with Africa meeting that will be convened in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, and a ministerial meeting on industrialization that will be convened in Abuja, Nigeria. Algeria has also expressed interest in hosting a G20 event. Details on this are still being finalized. The G20 finance track has introduced a workstream that aims to deepen the G20's understanding on some of the key factors that hinder Africa from achieving sustainable growth and development. This workstream will examine 4 key impediments to growth, which include, amongst others, weak economic institutions that need to be strengthened to provide a platform for economic growth, infrastructure development, where a persistent gap hinders productivity and access to basic services, macroeconomic vulnerabilities, which disproportionately affect African countries and constrain government's ability to invest, and the higher cost of capital, which acts as a burden on governments and as a disincentive to the private sector. Our Minister of Finance has also established a G20 expert panel to advance an African perspective by identifying key priorities for the continent's developmental interests in areas relevant to the work of the finance track. We are advancing a G20 agenda. We are advancing a G20 Africa cooperation agenda in trade and investment working groups. This initiative is aimed at supporting implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Area, mobilizing investments in Africa's productive sectors, and facilitating investment into infrastructure projects to support regional integration. South Africa is also using its G20 presidency to advance the Pact of the Future that was adopted at the United Nations General Assembly last year. The pact includes a declaration on future generations, emphasizing the need to consider the well-being of future generations in decision-making. It also includes commitment to listen to young people's concerns and include them in decision-making processes. Our presidency is also aligned to the Financing for Development meeting that was held in Spain, which highlighted the need for international cooperation and a strengthened financial architecture. South Africa's G20 presidency also stands firm in the belief that multilateral cooperation is not optional, it is imperative. Unilateral actions that undermine the rules-based order risk reversing decades of progress. Noting that 2025 will mark the 80th anniversary of the United Nations, South Africa has reaffirmed its commitment to strengthening multilateralism and that all states must act in a manner consistent with the purposes and principles of the United Nations Charter. There is an urgent need to ensure that the United Nations, including the Security Council, is fit for purpose and relevant to the current international reality. There is an urgent need to reform the international system of global governance, inclusive of the international financial architecture, the multilateral trading system, and the multilateral development banks. The United Nations must also be reformed to make it fit for purpose and relevant to the current international reality. States must also honor their World Trade Organization commitments, including the principle of special and differential treatment, while advancing necessary reforms. We seek to resolve trade disputes through constructive dialogue and established mechanisms, and to ensure that trade policies actively support sustainable development objectives, particularly Africa's industrialization and transition to value-added production. We are concerned at the slow progress being made in the achievement of sustainable development goals of the 2030 Agenda. To this end, we have stressed the need for urgent action to accelerate efforts and reaffirm the G20's strong commitment to the SDGs in line with our theme of solidarity, equality, and sustainability. South Africa will host the second G20 Foreign Ministers meeting in New York on 25 September 2025, on the margins of the United Nations General Assembly High-Level Week. This will be the second time ever that the G20 meeting is held at the United Nations, after Brazil's historic hosting of the same meeting last year. The United Nations, at the core of which is the General Assembly, with its universal representation, where every country participates on an equal footing, is and will always remain the chief deliberative and policymaking and representative organ of the global community of nations. Therefore, the work of the G20 and informal grouping seeks to support, contribute to, and reinforce already existing processes of the United Nations and its organs in a complementary manner. South Africa fully supports strengthening partnerships and fostering dialogue with a diverse range of stakeholders, including governments, global institutions, and civil society, to collaboratively shape the G20's approach to issues requiring international cooperation. As part of its commitment to an inclusive G20, the South African presidency has endorsed the G20 Social, an initiative aimed at strengthening the role of civil society and social groups in the G20 decision-making processes. The engagement groups and social summit are critical to ensuring that the G20 agenda is more democratic, inclusive, and comprehensive, and that those people who are impacted by the decisions of the G20 are heard. A G20 social forum will be convened, which will precede the Leaders Summit in November 2025, with the aim of bringing together representatives of the existing engagement groups and other segments of civil society that may offer meaningful contributions to the G20. All 14 G20 engagement groups have been constituted, have defined their priorities and deliverables. We urge all South Africans to participate and contribute to these groups, which are as follows: W20, which stands for Women 20, L20, which is Labor 20, B20, which is Business 20, T20, which is Think Tank 20, C20, Civil Society 20, SAI 20, which is Supreme Audit Institutions, Y20, which is Youth 20, U20, Urban 20, S20, which is Science 20, Startup 20, J20, which is Supreme Courts 20, O20, which is Oceans 20, P20, which is Parliamentarians 20, and Empowerment 20. And I just want to stress Empowerment 20 and W20 because both of them, being August, focus on women. W20 focuses on women's issues in general, and Empowerment 20 specifically looks at women in business. So the women that are here, please look out for the meetings of those two empowerment groups. So out of the 14, 2 are focused on women's issues. As I indicated earlier, we are now past the midpoint of our G20 presidencies, and we have just over 3 months before the Leaders Summit. The next ministerial meetings are scheduled to take place in September 2025. Negotiations of the ministerial outcome documents and related high-level outcome documents have commenced. Preparations for the drafting of the Leaders' Declaration have also started. We continue to report to the G20 Interministerial Committee and to Cabinet bi-monthly. The team has also briefed President Ramaphosa on the work done thus far and the overarching 4 priorities. The 3 task teams and in various working groups. President Ramaphosa is fully supportive of our approach of continuing to aim for negotiated and ambitious declarations and outcome documents in the ministerial meetings and the Leaders' Summit. We are pleased to note that there's already been 3 ministerial meetings that have been concluded, and all of them have adopted communiques. We had the finance ministers and central bank governors meeting that was held in Zimbabwe. And then we also had the development working group meeting that was actually held here in Mpumalanga at the Kruger, and the employment working group that was held in George. All of them have successfully negotiated outcome documents. We anticipated early pushback on some issues from some delegations, on issues such as sustainable development goals, illicit financial flows, gender, and green industrialization. And I must end perhaps by saying I've had questions, sometimes people saying, is the United States participating? Is it not participating? Is it still the G20 without the United States, and so on? And our answer is, with or without the United States, it's still the G20. However, there was a meeting that was held virtually on the 21st of July. In this meeting, they have committed that going forward, they will be participating. However, the highest level that they will be participating at is at Director General level, if we look at our levels here at home. We are still anticipating that President Trump will come for the summit, as much as he has indicated on social media that will not be coming. But as I indicated, even if he comes or if he sends a representative or nobody's here, we'll still have the G20. And preparations are well underway for the hosting of the Leaders Summit at Nasrec. And this is being led by a project management team that is getting very little sleep. So on that note, Prof, I would like to end by saying, no, the G20 is not a diplomatic spectacle. Thank you.
Asishaye intandla futhi. Siyabonga Menta Biseng kusendlalela ukuthi sesihambe kangakanani ekulungiseleleni lenzaba ye-G20. Ladies and gentlemen, especially those that would be coming and participating on the panel discussions, the plea from the program director's chair is that let's diversify. The profile of our invited guests is such that we need to speak the other languages. Let's diversify as we speak. Singabithi bantu bagcine balele kani besifuna ukuthi sibaphathisele okuthide. The young people that are here, nivile nga Y20, look out for those engagements. Bomage, nivile nga E20, Empowerment 20. Bomage nivile nga Women 20. Look out for those engagements. Bottom line is that this is the beginning of opportunities going forward. Just like we've had all of these summits over the years, awuthi when we converge bese konke kuyalunga, kepha kuba sicalo setindo letiya phambili. Singacabangi ke ukuthi ke ngokuba khona kwethu lapha basinika yini ma check sikhuluma nge financial inclusion and all of those things. Sendlalelo setindo letinhle letitabo. So let's look out for all of those discussions and engagements that will be presented by the G20. Siyabonga Menta Biseng uma uthi with or without the US, we will still have the G20 summit. Kepha ke siyahamba siyokokota kubo lesikhathi United Nations iba naleya engagements sitabe silapha eceleni siyabakhumbuza sithi we are 2 months away, are you guys ready? Yabo in September sitobakhumbuza Prof. Thank you so much. Vamlauds, Dr. Mlauds and your team of panelists, we want to now call you on stage, and as I pleaded, let's diversify as you and your team do engage with your panelists. Asibashaya letandla.
Thank you very much, Program Director. Let me observe the protocol and greet the EM of City of Mbombela and Prof from UNISA. Lastly, let me just acknowledge from DERCO, the representative, and all protocol observed, because I want us to manage time. We are going to have a discussion with the panel, and after that we'll then open for questions. It's going to be very exciting. We're going to limit our discussion to inclusive economy. I'm just trying to give the tips to those that are going to come forward. Let me call them. Maybe from your side, if we can get a roving mic that side, so that we don't waste time. Let me first by welcoming from the financial sector, Ms. Ndu Lwandile. Can you come forward, please? Can we give a hands of applause? She's from APSA. She's an area manager who is responsible for SMMEs. I hope the SMMEs, they are going to gain something today. Then the second member of the panel is from tourism. We have got Linda from KLCBT. Can we encourage her? Then from mining, we have got Mr. Chirwa. Do we have Mr. Chirwa? Yeah, Mr. Chirwa, can you come? Can you encourage Mr. Chirwa? Then from agriculture, we have got Dr. A.T. Sambo. Ukona A.T. Sambo. Yes, come forward, please. Yes, you can take your seat there. But before we start with our discussion, I think, EM, we must use maybe 5 minutes just to share with the stakeholders who is a City of Mbombela. I think I will do that. We wanted to project, but I think I'll just try to summarize. City of Mbombela is Category B municipality. It was established in terms of Section 12 of the Municipal Structures Act by the MEC of Kokta. It came as a result of the merger between the former Mbombela local municipality and former Umujin local municipality. We have got 45 wards, which means in total we have got 90 councillors. We also have towns. You have got Barberton town, you have got Mbombela as another town. If you drive along your R40, you have got White River, you also have Hazyview. So we also have another corridor on the left. You have got Matsulu, Kanyamazan, as well as on the other corridor, you'll have got Kabokweni. So that gives you City of Mbombela at a strategic level. We do have 4 regions, just for governance purposes. The first region is called Central Region, which is where we are today. It's servicing the areas within and surrounding Mbombela as a city. We also have a region called Northern Region, which is your Hazyview and surrounding. Then we have got Eastern Region, Kabokweni, that's another region. The last region is called Southern Region, your Barberton towards your Matsuru. That's the last region that we have as a city. We have got a population of 818. I think in the next 2-3 years, Mayor will be approaching 1 million. That is the population that we are servicing as a city. The majority of the people in Mbombela, they are young people. And we also have a challenge of unemployment. So and I hope that when we discuss with the panel, we'll be coming with issues and strategies. So how do we assist in terms of creating jobs? We also, the capital city of the province, as the mayor has indicated, and we are also hosting a number of institutions. We have got your provincial government that is hosted here. We also have the legislature. We do have the High Court, it's also hosted in our city. We have got the University of Mpumalanga, it's also hosted here. We also have our Mbombela Stadium. So when there are matches, they are played within us here. We also have what we call a newly established your International Fresh Produce Market. We also have your Barberton Makonjwa Mountain. We also have your Kruger Mpumalanga International Airport. And also part of the world-renowned Kruger National Park is also part of this. So we also have a share in terms of the Kruger National Park. You can see from the introduction that the majority of the guests that are going to come, they are going to come to this city. Of course, we are bordered by Mozambique and Swaziland. So as program manager has already indicated to say it's easy to travel to Mozambique and Swaziland. So if you can go to the city, you'll see the cars, they come and do a business and shop within the city. We are also the most populated municipality in the province and also the most populated municipality in the district. We do have our own Vision 2030, of course in line with national. Just to share 2 points. We've got 2 pillars for Vision 2030. One, we want to prioritize integrated human settlement. 2, we also want to have competitive economy. That's where I'm going to focus. Then the last point that is going to relate to our discussion. As a city, we have got programs that we are implementing to achieve inclusive economy. That's the topic for today. The Prof indicated that we need to collaborate, we need to work together so that all of us, we are going to contribute in the economy of the city. Because you've got SMMEs, you've got mining and so forth and so forth. So as a city, we do have the local economic development strategy that we have approved. It's what we are implementing. And the strategy have got key areas. The first one, we are prioritizing township economy. So we want to see our townships improving. We want to support those who are starting businesses within those particular townships. We also support SMME development and support. We also prioritize tourism. We are also prioritizing industries. There are industries that we are trying to revive. Yoka Bokweni, Yoka Nyamazana, and Matsulu. We are going to prioritize those industries. We are also supporting AMA cooperatives. So if we have got cooperatives, we have got programs that are aimed at addressing that. Then the last point, we do have the tourism sector plan. So that's City of Mbombela. I'm going to start now to engage. I don't know whether we have got a mic. Can I take this? Econ lane. Okay. But I want to have mine. I want to sit there. I can take this. Okay. Perfect. So I want us to engage leaders. We have got, I think now we've got 40 minutes. So let's stick to time. I'm going to give you, we're going to have 2 rounds. So the first one, I will give you 1 question, then you respond, then I will come back, then I will hand over to Sisi. I think we're not going to go beyond 40 minutes. So my first question that I'm going to start, I will start with Linda. Yeah, you just take the mic there. Linda, South Africa is going to host a G20 presidency. What is your comment? What is your expectation from KLCBT? You can address them.
Thank you very much. And yes, that is indeed very exciting. And thank you for the opportunity. I've got 7 very quick points that we have to keep in mind when the world is coming to us. And it is for everybody here, and not just, I'm not speaking to government alone, it's everybody. So the first point is we need to do better. We are now going to compete on a global platform. We're competing against the world for especially things like tourism. So we have to be better than we are now. We have to stop hiding behind labels. Oh, shame, I'm just a youth. I'm just a woman. I'm just a whatever. Stop it. Step up and be better. We are not an island. I have an expression always that says, I'm not the best, but I'm better than the rest. And that is not cutting it. You have to start competing against yourself and be better every day. So that's the first one. Secondly, sustainability will be a big ticket on the cards, especially from a tourism perspective. These people are going to come and see how sustainable are we. 76% of tourists, of travelers, are first looking at sustainability where they are going. Are these people caring about the environment? What are they doing? So they're going to look at this. And we've got a lot of potential here. We've got a lot of waste. We've got a lot of plastic. And that is where municipalities in particular can play a role. You can ban that and from council. You can say no more plastic bags, no more plastic bottles. You will see I've not accepted a bottle of water because I refuse to drink water out of a plastic bottle. So those are small things you can use, waste to energy, instead of garbage lying all around. Sustainability is big money, so that's one of our potentials. Let's learn from the countries that are here how to work government and private sector seamlessly together. Government should do the business of government, and private sector should be doing business and tourism. So let's learn from other countries on how they do it. Then use the platform as a springboard for excellence. We've spoken about that. The roads, the water, the cleaning, security, especially corruption. Let's not just roll out the red carpet for the international people coming here. Let's keep on keeping that red carpet alive for our own ratepayers, our own citizens, and our own voters. When the international people are here, let's invite them to bring their travel trade, their travel agents, their tour operators, to come on a tour and come and see what we have so they can send a lot of tourists this way. If we start getting the tourists from those countries, the investors will follow. That is how it works. They first visit and then they invest. So if they come to invest, what are we putting on the shelf for them to buy? Where can you invest? What can you invest in? Where's the land? Where's the water? We must put our portfolios together. So with that in mind, our region is literally bursting with potential. If I had a few billion, I would put it right here. Because we've got a lot of land available. Most of it in government hands or traditional leadership, but they are available nonetheless. So we will have to have the conversations amongst ourselves on how to make the land available, especially for tourism. Let us not deny our people any further. We've got a lot of youth and a lot of poor communities that should be included in this massive tourism development. And yet, these places are just standing there. We are in the gate fee business. People come and pay a gate fee, and that's all they spend. But hundreds and even thousands of people could work or have businesses on these sites. My last point, Dr. Malaitse, is I just want to make a quick point about the tariffs. Let's talk about the tariffs and America quickly. First of all, South Africa is taking this way too personal. The presidency in America took a clipboard and they saw which countries are exporting more to the US than they are importing from the US. And we were, well, very proudly one of them. So to balance that deficit to America, they've decided to implement us a 30% tariff increase. If you look, we're not the only one. They're not doing it because they think we are this or that or the next thing. It's simply business. They want to restore the balance of trade. So with that being said, we are already paying high tariffs to a lot of other countries, but our quality from South Africa prevails. And this is where I want to make the last point in favor of tourism. An export product is a thing that brings foreign currency to us. So tourism is an export product of South Africa because we bring foreign currency to South Africa. And that export product, Doctor,
Yes.
does not attract any tariffs. It is free. Let's promote it.
Okay, thank you so much. Can we encourage Linda's points? Okay. Okay, let's go to Barberton Mines. Mr. Chirwa, what's your take? We are hosting. Then I also shared the city's profile. Any comment from your side? What can the mine assist, contribute? We have got stakeholders here. They would like to know, what is your take? Just cover everything so that we don't come back on that tuition.
All right, thank you very much. You know, I'm excited that you know, now I'm talking about, I'm referring to the mining sector as a whole. You see, the mining sector is one of the key drivers of our economy. But for us to flourish, for us to broaden our wings, we need government, we need communities, we need stakeholders, we need everyone to be involved. So there are a few things that we need to iron out. For example, we have, you see, the mining sector can only flourish when there's stability in our communities. So we need stabilities in our communities. Not so long ago, I think all of us, we have experienced this particular issue of land grabs. It is a problem. So I think if we can put our hands together as the city to address the issue of land grabs, because it is a problem. For example, people will come and, you know, grab land around the mining where we operate. And this will lead to something that we call dependency syndrome, because people feel they're entitled. If they want water, they will just block the road, bend the tires. Sometimes they will even destroy the infrastructure. Because if we have land that is, you know, unutilized, people will seize that piece of land and erect shacks. So if we can address the issue of land grabs, because it paints a bad picture about our planning as stakeholders, as government, as private sector, because we don't find ourselves where we have to react instead of being proactive. That's one area. I think as communities, we also need to organize ourselves, because, you know, sometimes it's okay to raise issues, but the manner in which you are raising issues, they become ugly. You know, they will necessitate law enforcement to come and intervene. Whereas when we can organize ourselves, we will be in a better position to escalate our issues so that the relevant authorities or sector will address them in a correct manner. The other issue that I think we need to deal with as communities, and this requires a collaborative effort to deal with crime. Crime is a serious problem in South Africa. It affects everyone. I'll just make an example. We're having a serious problem with when it comes to illegal mining. This also requires all sectors to be involved. Our border control and management, if we can tighten up the loose screws, I think we can win it, because I'll just share with you that recently the unit that is responsible for illicit mining has arrested over 500 illegal miners. About 90% of those are foreign nationals, are here illegally. Prostitution is a problem as a result of these foreign nationals. That tells you we have a serious problem, because some of them are repeated offenders, and our justice system will also have to come and assist us, because how do you give a person a bail if they don't have proper documentation to be in South Africa? That is a problem. And even if you deport them, they will always come back. And then sometimes they will tell you, "Ay, namhla ngla, but kusasa ekuseni ngiyaphuma, ngiyabuyela futhi." And that is a problem. It's a reality. You know, the mines have spent millions of rands upgrading its security infrastructure. We're talking about money that should be directed to community development. Recently, the executive mayor will attest, we handed over a community hall. So what we spent on building that community hall, ailingana lesi spend to upgrade our security infrastructure. Meaning that if besinganayo inkinga ye illegal mining, more money will be directed to community development. So we need to be ready. We need to work as a collective, because it cannot be the problem of the mining sector only. It requires the law enforcement agencies, Home Affairs, all sectors, the municipalities, provincial, national, all spheres of government. And lastly, in the interest of time, you see, there's a serious issue with our communities, so that we need to I think it's high time that we address it. You know, communities, they feel that they're entitled. The issue of entitlement, it's a problem. So I think we need to come up with ideas as to how we go about in addressing those challenges, because you need to do something for yourself. You know, most of the time people will come to our operations, to the mines, to say we are demanding 1, 2, and 3. But I think it's high time that we ask them, what is it that we can do to assist the mines so that we assist you? It cannot be one way all the time. We're making demands, we're not coming up with solutions or proposals. Lastly, I think we need to work together. I think collaboration is key. It's the only way. We need to work together. If we don't work together, things will get worse. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chirwa. Yeah, indeed, I saw the community hall. It's very beautiful. I saw it. Doc, from agriculture point of view, G20, it's around the corner. What's the story? Any comment, any expectation?
Thank you very much, Doc. From agricultural point of view, the main challenge that is facing our smallholder farmers is access to finance and access to markets. So we need collaboration and cooperation between the government, the private sector, and financial institutions to create some sort of blended finance scheme that will be part of it will be a loan and a grant, so that our smallholder farmers can able to access funds. Government do provides grants, but the budget for government is very limited to cover each and every farmer. So our farmers need access to funding in order to expand their production and generate job opportunities and make income. As the G20 is coming to South Africa, we'll be hosting it. I'm expecting facilitation of bilateral trade agreements to promote agricultural exports. In Mpumalanga, particularly in the low field, we have a potential to produce and export products such as macadamia nuts, citrus fruits, and deciduous fruits. So with this, if we have enough, if we are able to access export markets, we will be able to, our farmers will be able to contribute meaningfully to inclusive economy. Thank you, Prof.
Thank you so much. Can we encourage him? Ceci, you can hear from the doctor here. There is a need for financing. What's the story from the financial sector. G20 is here. We have got stakeholders here. Some of them might be saying, oh, ABSA is here. Maybe our problems are going to be solved. So what is the story from your side, Sis?
Thank you, Prof. It's good that I'm following the talk, and he raised a very valid point about access to finance, especially from the private sector in collaboration with other sectors. So I will speak Boklan so that we make sure that we understand each other. Firstly, number one, I'm supporting SSMEs, which is small, medium enterprises. So I'm talking to everyone, whether you are in the township, whether you are in town, whether you're in the CDP, we talk to you straight as from ABSA. What we do, especially for the SMEs and also for the economy, to build economy, we help and assist the business owners. So I'm counting everyone here. In my area, we only touch from 0 rents to up to the income of 50 million. So we have different finance structures we do. I'll start first with the one where Doc touched on, the agriculture one. So he touched on the grant. Yes, as a bank, we do have a grant where we offer blended finance. We understand that our people, sometimes they don't have affordability to apply for finance like any other grown the company that is already on the stage where is a cooperative and it's got a lot of money. They can afford working capital. They can afford to apply for any loans or business loans. However, we are working, there is a grant where we are working with a Department of Land Reform. We call it blended finance, where there is a grant where we help our people from agriculture, farmers, black-owned, I will call you colleagues, apologies, black-owned. So if you have a farm and you are busy, even if you don't have a farm, you are busy with agriculture, you have your own plant there. So come to us, we will assist you. But what we need from you also, we need the compliance part, which is very important and that you need to understand. You need to have your things ready. It doesn't matter whether you are trading as yourself, if you are Mr. Mulao or you are Ms. Luandle, so it doesn't matter. However, there must be compliance where we can say, this is what you are doing, we can see what you're doing. You tell us your story, we listen to you, then we see how can we help you. We also offer trainings to every small business owners, where we have a department called Enterprise Development, where we train people to develop their business. We help you so that you grow up from startup to where you are ready. So we give that program up to 12 months. So that is not a must to give you 12 months. We offer until 3 months. Then if we see that you still need, we help you to offer that program to you. G20 is coming to South Africa. It's a global event, and this is where you and me and yourself, you are coming in. It's not about only certain individuals that are on top. It's about everyone in your corner, in your community. Remember, township economy, that is where things are happening. So what we are covering at the moment as ABSA, we are covering township economy, because that is where money is. You will see in your corner, there is your neighbor there, you yourself, you are selling something. Imagine how much you make a day, and people, they forget that this money that you are doing per day, it ends up being the 100,000 that you can do a month. And people are buying from the neighbors. You will see the quotas and everything, and they are buying. The Shisanyamas, those, we are coming to them because we see the business, we see the economy is happening in our township. So I'm calling everyone, as G20 is coming in, there's a program that we are offering, called Shopred. You can still trade on that system that we are using, which is called your business. You put your business up there. You sell everything that you are selling in your community. You don't need to have renting space and everything in town. Wherever you are, you can sell, and people can see you, whether it's international or wherever, as long as you have market. So we also offer you access to market. We help you to know how can you gain access to market. How can you market your business? That's what we offer with enterprise development. I know I'm a small space, but we don't only deal with agriculture, we deal with all the sectors, whether you are doing your retail business, you are doing your agriculture, you are doing your construction business. This is where you are. I know some people are going to ask me about tenders. We also help, but remember now, we need to know the sustainability of your business. We also look at that. So we cover all of that. So the only thing is to ask. So what we do, we have in all the towns. I'm based in the Khetsibande, but this side I'm covering because there's no one this side at the moment. So what is happening, there is a banker who's a business banker who we build a relationship with that person. That relationship you build, that person is going to assist you to grow. You don't go just to go into in the branch and say you need this. You deal with the person, you have a number, their cell phone number, you have their email, you contact, we do that face to face so as you know that, because people like to be, have that touch. We want to understand this. That's why I know. If ngikhuluma noMam Khumalo tomorrow, I must know that I was dealing with Mr. Khumalo last week. Ngifuna ukukhuluma noMam Khumalo, I understand kwenzekalani laphayana kwaMkhukhu construction. That's what we do. So take your business out there. Let it know there's G20 coming here. Let it not be only for people that are on top. Make sure that your banking needs are covered. Go and talk to the bank. Ask them, how can you assist me? How can I grow? How can I make sure that my working capital, I mean your money that you use every day, is there. We will assist you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. My last round of questions, Dr. Sambo. Let's say there's someone here, Utish, I've got this dream, man. I want to do agriculture. What advice can you say?
Thank you very much, Doc. In the Department of Agriculture, we have agricultural advisors throughout the province, in all the wards. And we have our offices in the local municipalities. So we have to visit the local office of agriculture in the municipality, talk to an agricultural advisor. You will be given all the advice that you need. More than that, we also have economists. Economists that are people that are able to do a business plan so that your dream for the business that you are dreaming to do in agriculture, we can see it in a plan, like a house plan. So see how you're able to break even, and in which area are we going to start making profit and so on, and how much startup funding you need to start that business. So we have those two kinds of people, the actual economists and the actual advisors that are in the local municipalities, in the Department of Agriculture offices that can help you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Linda, just in less than 3 minutes, I know, Linda, you can, so I just want to limit you a bit, So, so the speakers, they've spoken about collaboration. So we are saying G20 is coming. From KLCBT side, what role do you think you will be playing in collaboration?
Well, I can only repeat what I wanted to say, is that I would like to connect with all of the countries here and take models from those countries on how government and private sector are collaborating. There are countries that I take to heart always, is like Namibia and those people, and how they achieve sustainability. So that part of collaboration, definitely. And then they will look at buying local. How much are we buying local? And how much we can collaborate to produce local essential goods, especially for our vast government that's housed here, Madam Maya. We cannot buy toilet paper that comes from wherever. This whole government here and all the agencies and all of the corporates, hand towels and toilet paper, we should make here and have training facilities for youth that can train from a factory worker right to the manager and everything. That's just one small idea. You're limiting me, but if you have a week, visit me.
Thank you so much, Linda. Guys, I think let's just give the closing inputs. I think time is run out. 2 minutes, your closing comments before we hand over the second session to Ceci. Let's start with Ceci Lapo. Yeah, SMMs.
Thank you, Chef. What I'm going to touch on, I'm happy that Linda touched on and looked at the mayor that, because she runs this whole town in the Mpumalanga and she can make sure that things happen. In terms of collaboration doesn't need someone else to come from the other place. It comes from here within us. You can collaborate with each other and build your own businesses. If your neighbor is selling towels and they are crafting or doing something, buying from them, that is part of the economy. You are growing your own town economy. So buying from the same place where there is access to things that you need at home, it will grow your own town, not only that person alone. That is what we're not doing at the moment. We are buying things from other countries, but however, we do have things here. So for everyone who needs help, who needs any assistance in terms of your business, if you want to grow your business, your ideas, come to a banker, go talk to them, ask them, how can I go about this? I want to do this. You have an idea that you already started with and you already implemented some things and you need some guidance. We will assist. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes, let's give my leader from the mining. Then we'll pause because we're gonna go to the last session where it's gonna be led by Bongiwe. We're gonna give the audience a chance to ask questions. Your last comment, my leader.
The closing remarks. Well, I think it's high time that we reorganize ourselves as communities, as sectors. Collaboration is key. So government cannot deal with the issue of unemployment alone. The private sector cannot deal with the issue of local economic development in areas where they operate. So we need to collaborate with all sectors, but most importantly, we need to organize ourselves as stakeholders, as communities. If you are a group of women and you have started your own business, that's the organization that I'm talking about. If you are organized, you can approach any sector to say, how can you assist us? Because we cannot go and look for you. You need to organize yourself, make yourself known, because it's so difficult to fund or support an idea. We need to see that you have already started, you are doing something for yourselves. Because labaning batole funding and abazanga by spend even naleo portion, they could not even produce reports. Some of them, they forfeited other trenches. So my appeal to all of us here, let's promote collaboration and while city organizer as different sectors.
Thank you so much. I think we are done. Program director, you can come here. So I'm told you guys, you are not off the hook. You must remain here. So in case there are questions that will be directed to you, it's only myself who is allowed to go back.
Thank you so much, Toby, Dr. Mlaudzi. It's now an opportunity for the audience to engage with the panel, and that session is going to be moderated by Prof. Bongi Mpahlele. I don't know if you want to go sit where the doc was sitting or you want to stand here, but this is how we're going to do it. We've got youth formations here, we've got women, we've got other people from business, a lot of sectors, but as Funegun limited to those that I've mentioned, ngendeka nje khona lokudlako lofuna kubona ukuthi mhlawumbe ungakhona kusitakala kuko after having listened to what the panelists were saying. Prof. Lingane firstborn yam.
Thank you, Ntate Program Director. Okay, first of all, I'm not a professor yet, I'm a doctor, but I'll soon be a professor. They've already prophesied it, so I believe it will happen soon. My name is Bongi Wempahlele. I've been asked to facilitate the section Yama questions and answers. So you have seated here for almost 2 hours and you listen to the guests, the dignitaries. Now it's time for you to talk. You will not get this opportunity again. Maybe you'll get it later this year or next year. So ask noma yipi question onayo. Ask the people and everyone who is here. So before we move forward, let me first acknowledge Mayor Runa, the executive mayor, and also a mayor from DECO, also my Prof Peggy, and also all the people who were here before me, and also our amazing panelists who have shared very useful information with us. I want to say that I appreciate DECO and UNISA and also the City of Mbombela for collaborating to provide this platform, for the people of Mbombela, because G20 should go to the people. People also deserve to be involved. They deserve to know what's going on in our country. Ingabi something that is spoken in the news and abantu they are left behind. So this is linked to a theme here, South Africa, which emphasizes equity and inclusion. Everyone should be involved, no matter where you are, in the rural villages, in the townships, in the plus, in the suburbs. Everyone should be involved and they must know what's going on. And G20 is a platform for negotiation. The leaders, they speak and then they agree with investor imali on what. It doesn't mean the leaders are coming here and then they're gonna come to Mbombela and give them money so that people can get assisted. But it's a platform where you negotiate and also very important, form partnership. Like Linda has indicated that we use this opportunity as the City of Mbombela to form partnership with other municipalities from India, from USA, see how they have done to improve people's life, what they have done to improve service delivery. Okay, I'm not gonna be long. So now, before we move forward, before we move forward with our questions and answers, I'm going to request members of civil society, the representatives. I believe they know who they are, surprise. So I'm going to ask to have a mic that is going to move to each and every one of them. So before nginikeza abantu bonke the opportunity to ask our questions, I'm going to give a representative, youth first, and then civil society, and then business, and then women. So I'm going to start with the youth, and then after youth, it's going to be the representative, civil society, and then business, and then women. Please be brief, be short as much as possible, so that wonke umuntu ezothola an opportunity to ask questions. Ungafaki background. The introduction, just go straight to what you want to say. If we are comment. If we are asking a question, just ask the question. Okay, can we have the member of youth, the representative youth? Yes, can we have the first question?
Thank you so much. My name is Felicity Stono, and my question is directed to the financial sector. I heard her mentioning a training program and access to market. I'm one of those who are running a small business and I wish to enhance my business. So I want to know that is this training program for free, and what are the requirements? And also the access to market, is it also for free, or do we have to pay? And also, what are the requirements? Thank you.
Can we have thank you so much, my sister. Can we have the representative from civil society? Just raise your hand and then the mic will come to you. Anyone from a civil society group? Okay, can we have the business? We have a hand.
Thank you so much. My name is Mandla Mashiko. I had the presentations and appreciate them, but I just want to check within the municipality, because I had, as they make their presentation and I look and overlook, I'm saying without infrastructure development, we speak less of economic development in the region. I didn't hear Mr. Mlaudzi speak about the sector in the plans that they talk about in 2030, and even in a check in the panelists there, and no one speak to the infrastructure development, which is key. And I think if we can prioritize that as well, infrastructure development as a sector, it can assist us. And then number two is that we talk of sustainable development goals. I will request that, because I also didn't hear or know any plans from the municipality side, that what, do they have any plan? If maybe please they can make me understand or make us understand the implementation plan on the development goals within the municipality, so that we are able to also add on that going forward, because it's very key, especially the green economy. It's silent. Then the Mbombela being the capital city in the province, we need to prioritize business sector as a champion of change in the economic development. That is very key. I've been to other countries, they prioritize their business people. I realize even the invitation came back late to us as business to come and participate here. And some of them, I tried to engage them, they were already engaged. So we need to invite them in time and make sure that when they participate and contribute meaningfully, because really we are having a problem of job creation. It's a subject on its own that can take the whole day when we talk of job creation. Unemployment is a crisis. So when you don't invite business in time and they don't participate, so to speak, we won't be able to contribute meaningfully. And then the other one, protecting the local economy, the black rents, I call it, from being infiltrated by the so-called illegal foreign business people who disguised as investors. We have a challenge. There are many people who call themselves investors who come to the country to come invest here and all that. Recently, I think that was March, we have a group of business people in one country, I may not mention it now, who said they are business people. They come in from agriculture side. They come and buy the farms and say they want to invest in South Africa. They buy the farm, they bring their own material, their equipment to cultivate that farm, and whatever crop that they are taking from our land, they are taking it to their own country. We have to have some safety net to safeguard our economy there, because the food crisis in the world food crisis, it's a serious problem. We have a very serious problem, and it's a market, I would put it that way, because our economy, our agriculture in the province, it's very it's very fertile, actually. Remember at some stage we were number 2 or number 1 in contributing to that. And lastly, we need to strengthening youth entrepreneur to compete with the world and also capacitate them to compete with their IQ, their creative, and also their creation. We have met with a number of young people who are doing their own ends and trying to create their own small model of business there. So how best the municipality can assist them? Mr. Mlaudzi, what's the plan to maximize the youth competitive edge in business around the city? Thank you.
Thank you so much. Can we have the woman representative? Stelpa, Mrs. Sandler, wherever you are, just raise your hand. Oh.
Man, Sis Jabu Sietabu. Maybe just before Mam Jabu akuluma, when we Corolla Verso, HTS 031, la upake kona, utotola sesi tonsilele moto, stela uhambe, uisuse, because la umekona ivalele letinyeti moto. HTS 031 MP, Corolla Verso le blue. Now to you, Magajabu.
Sanbonani. My name, I'm Jabu Nyambi from Mount Sheba Nature Reserve in Pilgrim Rest. My question, it's simple. I think the question, it's include our mom, the mayor, and Linda. The question is, how are we going to deal with crime in the province? Because we really have tourists from outside, but you'll find that the tourists are killed. The tourists are hijacked. The tourists are, there's a lot of crime in the province. How are we going to deal with that? Nyabonga.
Thank you. Baya danki for the Belangare questions. They said we must diversify. So I'm trying. Siyabonga kakhulu for those very important and intelligent questions. I'm going to give the panelists and also the city of Mbombela the opportunity to respond. Please be very brief in your responses because we're going to do another round of questions, which I think will be the last one. So I'm going to give Executive Mayor the opportunity to respond if she wants to respond to the questions that were directed to her, and also, if not her, anyone from the city of Mbombela who will respond to the question of crime and also the question of infrastructure development that were raised. And then after them, I'm going to give the opportunity to Sisindu from ABSA to respond, and then also give our brother from the mining sector, and then also if there is a comment, and then from a short comment from Linda. So if we can do it in that procedure, then.
All right, here's an idea, Mpo. Let's start with the panelists, and then Dr. Mlaudzi, then the mayor will be the last one. Yeah,
okay.
Because once the mayor speaks, you all go home.
Is it? Okay, no, that's fine. We'll start with the panelist. Can you start with Sisindu?
Thank you, Prof. Thank you, Doc. My question was, number one, about the training that we offer to SMEs, and what I noted there, it's youth that asked that question, is very impressive. Number one, Sisi, yes, we do the trainings for free that we offer. In fact, while I'm with my guy here from Department of Agriculture, we are planning to do a financial literacy form Mpumalanga, so on all the regions, where we're going to be training. We're going to look at least 2 or 3 farmer per region, and then we also train their employees in that program. This is number 1 training. That is not for business. That is for individuals. So what we are looking for there is we'll be working with Zizamele, which is part of the Mind Group, where the training in terms of how to manage your finances, not only in your business, but also personally. That's number 1 training is for free. Number 2, the training that we offer, which is offered by the Enterprise Development, we offer a business that is banking with us. That business, whether while you are busy with your business, I see already you want to have access to market. If you want to access to market, we have to train you on the e-commerce system. E-commerce system, that is where you are selling your things and you are paying out there for people to buy even where they are. And they can pay you real time when you receive the money. They cannot scam you. And your money is received before you send the package out. So that is what we offer, in the ShopRite is part of that. But on the training part, on the part of access to market, I'm happy that end of the month, 29th of August, we are here in Mpumalanga, in Nelspruit, White River, where we have an event of a procurement, where we offer our SMEs access to market, where they're going to come and showcase their product, what they do. And while they're showcasing, they will be big corporate companies there, almost 10 there are there, we have been partnership with, Mines are part of it, and all of those. So the SMEs will have to apply via the system and apply to be part of that and showcase their product. That is what we offer. In that program, we will be giving you ways how to apply and how to gain access to market. Your market is not only the people that you are with. Your market is big companies there, like Mr. Was saying when he said, we need you to come to us. So the market, how to get the market to your market, you need to know how to apply, and so you can give and provide your services to the big companies. We help you to do that. Thank you. I hope I answered everything. Thank you.
Thank you. I acknowledge Mandla. I was only tasked to speak about tourism today, but I would like to advise everybody that are in business to join some sort of a business chamber. I don't want. I'm up here, so I'm not going to self-promote shamelessly like some of my colleagues here. But KLCBT is a wonderful one that keep you informed and give you access to opportunities. Coming back to G20, I don't want this to become an investment conference. This is about G20 and what it brings to us. So in that context, I would like to say when we are negotiating with the world, remember, they are also here to try and get their things exported to us. So let us have one goal in mind, Madam Mayor, and that is to guard and protect our local economy, build our local economy and protect it. Every rand that goes out of South Africa to buy something is not coming back. We have to work hard to get rands into South Africa. So every time you buy clothes at Timo, so let us protect our own rands here. Finishing with security, we've implemented our integrated security system led by KLCBT that is extremely successful. We have had no incidents on tourists for the past 10 months, and the Numbi Gate, which everybody feared, has been safe for almost 3 years now. My trouble is funding, so I don't want to abuse the platform, but we need to talk, otherwise it will all fall to pieces very soon. But Mpumalanga as a whole had a reduction in violent crime of 37% since our system is on the go a couple of months ago. Thank you.
Thank you. There was a comment about foreign nationals that come to the country posing as investors that buy local farms and produce the products and sell them back to their native countries. I think this is what can I say? Ngicabanga ukuthi kuniketa inkinga kakhulu ku food security status sethu selive and household food security. Because if these people are sending this food back to their countries, the salary South Africa side good. Then ngicabanga ukuthi make executive mayor kune section lekhona constitution lethi bantu bangaphandle mabafika lekhaya eSouth Africa bafuna uinvesta funa bachamke ne-investment mhlambe lecishe 5 million. So if as a country we are not implementing or enforcing that section, sitaba nenkinga kakhulu ukuthi bantu vele from other countries bachamke batothathela lokunqane lesiphilisa ngako sile ekhaya eSouth Africa. Ngicabanga ukuthi mhlambe it is a need for our country to enforce this section in the constitution. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much. I think my contribution with regard to business, I think there was a question about what are programs designed for business. Like I said earlier on, it is important to organize yourself, because the problem that we are having, people who want funding, but they don't have clear programs as to say, this is what we are all about, this is what we are doing, or this is what we would like to do. You need to organize yourself. You know, big business, all big businesses started small. So you don't have to wait until you get millions of funding from ABSA or any other institution. So you need to show that you are committed. You need to show that you can implement your business idea. What you need, maybe it could be the machinery, it could be training as to how to manage your finances, but you need to start. There are programs designed to assist local enterprises. There are programs designed to support businesses, even financially. But you need to have the proper documentation, proper programs. You need to, in short, we are saying, put your house in order so that you can attract financial injection from various institutions. And I would also like to touch on the issue of infrastructure development. You see, we have a serious problem in our country. Whenever we are angry about something, let's say Siofuna School, we need a school. But because certain departments, they've indicated or they promised that they would build the school, due to unforeseen, reasons, they are delaying. So you'll find the very same community destroying the clinic because they want school. And now we're having two problems. We don't have the school, we don't have the clinic. So it's a waste of resources. We need to own our infrastructure. We need to protect the infrastructure. Investors are coming to our country. They would want to see proper roads, proper healthcare systems, proper infrastructure. But the very same people ourselves said it's illegal. So I think we need to correct that, because nobody will invest in our country if we are destroying the very same infrastructure last night. And lastly, I mentioned that we need to organize ourselves as sectors. Now, let me talk about business. So I'm glad Linda is here. You need to join a certain organization or a forum, a body that represents the sector you are interested in. Because if you come as an individual, it will be difficult to be given your attention. If you want to see the executive mayor, don't come as an individual. Organize yourself to say, this is the forum that represents a business yabomage or youth-owned businesses. These are our programs, table them, and I'm sure if the executive mayor anganayo a budget for that, who will say, okay, there is a similar program offered by Barberton Mines. I'm just citing an example. She will refer that organization to the relevant institution. But if you don't organize yourself, it will be difficult to get the necessary audience or the required audience.
Thank you so much for that informative response. I think they've also covered the infrastructure development and the crime issue. Okay, I'm going to give the audience opportunity to ask questions. I'm going to take 5 questions. Does the city of Mbombela want to intervene before I move?
Deco.
Oh, Deco.
Thank you, Program Director. I just wanted to say something because there was reference to implementation of the Sustainable Development Goals. And maybe in summary, just to say we shouldn't beat ourselves up too much about implementing or achieving all the Sustainable Development Goals. Because just to give a bit of history, those that are old enough will remember that we had the Millennium Development Goals from 2000 to 2015. And there were only 8 MDGs. And in 2014 towards 2015, we recognized that we had not achieved all the MDGs. Some countries were doing better than others. As South Africa, we're patting ourselves on the back that we've achieved nearly all of them, but we also hadn't achieved everything. And because of that lack of achievement of the MDGs, there was then a process to negotiate a sort of a continuation of the MDGs, but because of the global politics at the time, it evolved from being just development goals that focus on the developing countries to sustainable development goals, which are now applicable to everybody, not just us as developing countries. And the challenge with the SDGs is that we moved from 8 to 17. And each of the 17 sustainable development goals has got 8 to 12 targets. And each target has an average of 2 indicators. If you multiply those numbers, it's a lot. I sometimes wonder whether we haven't been too ambitious. But the fact of the matter is that because it was such an ambitious agenda, no country is on track to achieve everything. In fact, there's already talk to say we are in danger of not achieving the Sustainable Development Goals by 2030, which is the target, which I'm sort of panicking because I had decided that I'll retire in 2030. I'll have done my job, but now it looks like we might not be there by 2030. So my proposal to the municipality and to everybody else would be, if we achieve 1 or 2 indicators under each of the goals, some of them are not even applicable to you, you are moving forward. And what matters is that we move forward in a sustainable way. But to say that we'll implement and achieve everything, it's something that is going to take a lot more time than what we have now, and a lot more resources. And as we've been saying, resources are also a challenge. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Deco, for clarifying that. It's true that the SDGs require resources, which is why we have the G20. Part of what South Africa is negotiating is investment into the resources so that we can improve on financial inclusion, so that we can build disaster management systems, so that we can manage illicit financial flows, the money that is being collected through underground trading that is not accounted for. So it needs money, and negotiation seems to be taking forever. So, but what is important is doing something. Everyone should be responsible in their own corners. I want to give the city of Mbombela an opportunity to intervene.
Yes, thank you so much, Doc. I want to respond to Ntate Mashigo's questions. The issue around the infrastructure development, it's a priority. We just limited the scope for the engagements to the economic drivers. We selected mining, agriculture, and tourism. It doesn't mean infrastructure development is not important. We just selected the 4 for now, but it remains a priority. Then number 2, green economy. The city also prioritized green economy. My presentation was very high. I was just trying to share the overview of the city. We've got a number of programs that we are implementing as part of green economy. Number 3, in terms of us prioritizing business sector, we do prioritize business sector. In all our planning forums and engagements, we always make sure that we invite them. I think Linda can agree to that. We also participating together at the DDM forum. So that collaboration has already been set at that level. Then the last point is with regard to youth. We also prioritize youth matters. We do have a youth desk in the office of the executive mayor. We have got all the programs that we are implementing there. We encourage young people to group themselves to form cooperatives, as my leader has indicated. That's my input. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dokotela. I want to give the audience opportunity to ask questions. Bengicilile earlier ukuthi ngicela ube mfishane nje to allow abanye abantu nabo ukuthi bakhona ukubuza ama questions. So please be brief and just go straight to the point. I-background uzosithumelela yona nge-WhatsApp. Can I have hands la bantu abafuna ukubuza questions? Okay, I will start with the brother with a cap, and then Pa with a blue jersey, and then there's my brother there with a hat, and then Ndate, that is 4, and then also at the back, Ndate with a white cap. In that order, we'll start with my brother with a cap, and then Pa with a blue jersey, and then my brother there at the back, and then Ndate, and then Ndate at the back.
Greetings, everyone. My name is Ntsako Mashilane. I have quite a few questions. Firstly, I will start with questions directed to all sectors. I heard all sectors, you mentioned the collaborative efforts. So I wanted to know what are your sectors doing to ensure that there is effective collaboration between your sectors and the public, referring to the community as stakeholders. And also, what measures are there that ensure that you do really engage with the stakeholders and you do empower them? Secondly, I also heard, I know that today it was mainly about small business owners, but I never heard anything about empowering young graduates. So I would also request that you do provide insights on graduates as well. So when it comes to sustainability, I wanted to know that are there any policies in place that ensures that while ensuring policy for your own sector, you ensure that you do not impact or affect other sectors? For an example, when it comes to finance, economic growth, the economic growth is based mostly on mining, on the minerals. So when you plan for your sustainability in the economic sector,
Please
do
wrap
you-
up, my brother. Just conclude, please.
Oh, okay, sorry. And also, with regards to, okay, let me jump straight to tourism. With tourism, I heard that one of the sustainability measures that you are currently practicing is towards waste management. What measures are there on other impacts such as deforestation, also a destruction of natural habitats? Okay, I submit.
Thank you. You are also allowed to ask in your language that you feel comfortable with. I'll try and translate.
Thank you, Program Director. Babchir, you spoke of crime, particularly were referring to the illegal mining. The spotlight now is in our province because we saw it was in Stilfontein some few months ago. Now our province, it's on the spotlight, it's happening. So I just want to find or to get your view because I'm thinking of how about formalizing that sector in your mining forum or mining, indaba that you have in the province. How about advocating this view of formalizing the sector, because what is happening currently, nearby Security Council, yababopa, the 500 plus. By next week Tuesday, sebabuyile futhi baqhubeka the same. Linda mentioned that we are competing globally, meaning there is a global market where labafowethu badayisa khona leta bayigubha laphayana. After big companies have left those mines and closed the way bashiya ngakhona. So ukwenza into eyi-one over and over again, expecting a different outcome. Ubuphukuphuku lobo. So please mention or take this up. How about formalizing the sector? Example, Tanzania, they are on that route or following that route of formalizing the sector because bayabona ukuthi kunempilo labantu abagubha laphayana at least abanye babo truly bayakwazi ukubeka singwe etafuleni.
Can you please give the mic to Ba? Councillor Tong. Ba, I was correct.
Thank you, Madam Director. I just want to ask one question. We've listened to this panel. We know that tourism, we know that infrastructure, we know that that's all important. How do we get the people to Mpumalanga and Mbombela? By air. Is our airport working? All these flags we see in front here have to fly in. Is our rail working, Madam Mayor? Is our rail working? Is our taxi association working properly? These are the questions that we need to ask. And the people, the leaders are here. Let us try and motivate to get our people trained and organized to welcome these people as they should be. Thank you.
Thank you. Can we give Tate and then we'll go back to the back.
Thank you very much. My name is Cyril Treni, all protocol observed. My question will cut across all the panels, and I want to be realistic so that we don't make this thing a talk show. You've got Bumage labatsengisa kuda la Stratton. Batsengisa sibanceda njani ngoba wena absa masifika kuwe ufuna collateral uthi ngilokulona le mali le unani lo ngabekisa ngayo. Why do you do that? Number two, mining. You say we must be organized. Yes, we must be organized, but why is that a limitation? If ngiyedwana nginemqondo wami ngifuna ukuvula business, why ungancedi wena ufuna mina ufuna ukungithola sengivulile le business anginalutho. I've got concept. Why can't you fund my concept? Ku agriculture bumaki labaniki la bathengisa ma veg la pedrobet lapha bathenga amaplazini ebelungu le. Why ningabayendele plan nene badilimele lama veg babuye bathengisa bangena njani kuleso stream? And then mase ngicetha ngifuna ukucheka la, in terms of finance, do you finance a franchise now? Because sinema McDonald's, the chicken licken, the KFC, bonga ba una mbelungu kuphela. Thini why ningas fund sibenago nathi lokho? Do you fund those things now? Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Can we have my brother next to the door?
Sanbonani. I-question yami itoya based straight to Mbombela. Magame nelithimba lakho. Bengifuna kwathi ukuthi ma street vendors anayo maybe i-funding. Banayo i-budget le bakhona ukuthi maybe kuma khona bakhona kubayendela something. For an example, ngitobeka njenga mina nkundathi noyele ngale Pick n Pay. Kube nebantu la ma businessmen la azame ukuthi afuna kusakhela. Structure listo khona ukuthi uMbombela afuna kusebenzisa le yandzawo smootheke. But Mbombela uthe no. Hayi la emhlabeni nonke. So ngifuna kwathi ukuthi thina as ma street vendors sonke sihlangene sincethe kanjani isnayinding okude. Ngicela nje net ningidlulisele lapho.
Thank you so much. Can we have Ndate with a white cap at the back? He'll be the last one.
Thank you so much, moderator. My name is Delisa. Mine is just to find out from the financial sectors, especially all the stakeholders pertaining SMMEs, because SMMEs are the cornerstone in terms of the economy of the country. We need all the stakeholders actually need to reinvest deeply, because by so doing, there are so many young people who are there in their corners who are needing assistance in terms of the financial aid. Hence, if we can assist them, they can be in a position to assist the country in terms of the unemployment rate, because there are those who are shelving their ideas because they've got so many issues when it comes to finances. Another comment, it will be based in terms of education. My view is that all the things that we're doing here are not going to be progressive if the educational system is not in line with modern economy. It will make South Africa to be a playing ground for those countries who are taking advantage in terms of their course in advancing their education in modern economy. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for those very important questions. I'm going to give you, my panelists, an opportunity to respond. Like I requested earlier, just be brief. We will start with Ndate Chirwa this time. I see you're passing the mic to others. We start with you. There was a question on you on how your sector is ensuring sustainability because of your activities that you do in the mining, and also another one on how you empower the community on developing things like concept and business plans so that they are able to present it to you. And then the others that you might have noted. And then after that, we'll give it to Linda and then Sisindu.
All right, thank you. Problem. Well, it's unfortunate my brother is not here who asked that question. So when we say you need to organize yourself, remember the mining sector is one of the highly regulated sectors. We have that social responsibility obligation towards our communities. And for us to support any other institution or any other enterprise, we have standards. We have key requirements or minimum requirements. For example, we cannot fund a business that is not registered. When we say organize yourself, register your business, make sure that the documentation that are required to have a legitimate business are in place. So you cannot say, I want to establish, let me say, a car wash. I want to start my own car wash business. And you expect sectors like ABSA or any other sector to say, we're going to give you 100,000 rand, whereas you are not a registered entity, you don't have a banking account, you don't have policies, you don't have your operational area in terms where you want to establish your business. So when we say organize yourself, we are referring to that you need to meet certain legislative requirements. It is always advantageous to come as a group because we have information that we want to share with a specific sector. So if you organize yourself, then we are in a better position to share information with that specific sector. But now the problem is that most of our representatives, let's say it's a business forum or a business structure that is representing other entities, when you share information with those, I'm not sure what could be the reason, but most of the time, that information acquired at that sitting, it stays with them. They don't cascade it down to their constituencies, and that is a problem. We are often criticized that we don't share information, whereas we share information, it's just that the information is not cascaded down to the relevant structures. Problem number two is that when we avail opportunities, sometimes we will ring fence certain opportunities for local people. Let's say we need to fund 5 businesses. Go and share with your constituents that there is such opportunity. The people that will apply for those opportunities are the very same structure that is representing the business. So it's a problem. I don't want to say people are greed, but it's a problem because information is not shared. And I think we need to correct that. There was also a question regarding stakeholder engagement. I think it's important to have a multi-stakeholder forum to say business, women, youth are all represented, they form part of one structure. Because it is impossible for us or any other sector to invite all the women of within the boundaries of city of Mbombela. We will not have enough space to convene or to have that meeting. So we need structure A to be represented by 2 or 3 people, structure B, so that we are able to share information with the forums. The forums, when they have their own meetings, they're able to convey the message or share that information with them. So it's important that you, as a business owner, make sure that you affiliate. You have a structure that you form part of, because there's power in unity. And you can go and negotiate. You know, sometimes it will be difficult to have a meeting, our executive mayor, to say, I'm sorry, so I want a meeting with the executive mayor. But when you come in the name of an institution, a legit structure, it's easy to get the attention, executive mayor. Remember, my sectors are run busy. So to grant you an audience, so it's important to organize yourself in that manner. And there was a question with regard to illicit mining or illegal mining that we need to formalize the structure. Well, mining is one of the highly legislated or regulated industry. You cannot just do what pleases you. You need to make sure that you act within the ambit of the law. That is a requirement, because if you don't do or if you don't adhere to your license condition, you are running a risk of losing your mining rights, and we don't want to do that as the mining sector. So the department, Yaga DMRE, is in a process of finalizing the issue of small-scale mining. But here is the problem, and this matter has been a hot debate. How do you legalize something that is illegal? We're talking about 500 foreign nationals who are here illegally. How do you give them license to start their own small-scale mining? So we need to start there to say, this is illegal, they are here illegally, but how best can we come up with ideas to say, remember this compliance part. These illegal operators, they don't want to adhere to health and safety regulations. So that's where the discussion should start to say, because as a company, as a mining company, there are areas where we are no longer mining. Not that there's no grade, there's no gold, but the recovery rate is too low for companies like where I'm coming from to mine at an optimal level. But it will make sense for a group of 5 or a group of 10 to go and mine there. So we need to have that discussion. I think it's a good idea, but we need to act within the prescripts of our laws. And lastly...
Okay, please do wrap up, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, under 30 seconds. We have a problem with there was a... you see, when we intervene as a company, it's not about box ticking exercise. No. We need to make sure that the investment from our side it's meaningful. We cannot just say we are supporting this business. No. We want the business to grow. We want the business to compete at not at the local level, but at the provincial level or international.
Thank you. In short, yes, at our organization, we do have programs for skills development and internships. Very advanced programs that has a high success rate, but I'll take it offline. We do communicate daily with our members. We've got 1,400 members, business members, and 6,000 people on our mailing list, which gets a daily mail of information and opportunities that is offered either by us or in the immediate area. And I just want to manage expectations here. When these G20 people are coming here, they're coming here to have a meeting, to negotiate with each other. In the Kruger Park, they're going to drive past in planes and buses with bodyguards. Not even I will see them. They are not coming here to give us funding. They are coming here for a meeting. So we will benefit greatly as tourism. We will benefit, actually also not. We will invite them back. And we must just remain our focus on that. And in the meantime, I cannot reiterate more that protect tourists at all costs. Every 12 tourists that comes to South Africa creates one permanent job. So every time something bad happens to them and we lose tourists, jobs go out of the window. And I would like to conclude with that. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. Can you give to Sisindu if you have any intervention?
Yes, thank you. I will start with my first question. I'm happy that I'm here because Mpumalanga, the first invitation is done by ABSA in collaboration with government and also not only with government, with other stakeholders. I will touch on Chamber of Commerce, number 1, which we have here, and we have it on the other side where I'm coming from. Number 1, the initiative that we are doing with government, you will note there is a Premier's Roadshow that is done yearly in Mpumalanga. The Premier goes in all the set areas looking for youth that is in business, and they pitch their business, they come with us. So that roadshow is done by ABSA and the Premier of Mpumalanga. So on that roadshow, what we want to achieve, what needs to be achieved, is to help them youth to be empowered, number one. Number two, to be able to make their business thrive, and also Premier give them the grant, plus ABSA contribution. So that's number 1 point. Number two, we are working in hand with Chamber of Commerce. We understand what is happening in the areas. So when we are working with Chamber of Commerce, we need to understand what is the plan, what needs to happen in that area. I will not touch on this one because I'm not clued up. I will make an example because we just had an event in Middelburg right now where all businesses came there to pitch and help their business and to know how they're going to grow their business in terms of economic growth of their towns, of their area. So that we are part of that in every corner. So number three, in terms of the funding of the small businesses, the collaboration also that we have, there's a grant that was given for SMEs, given to banks to assist the SMEs so they can grow their business. This grant, it doesn't mean that you come in and say, I want this grant. No, you apply like a financial. So in that grant, it helps you, especially those ones, you touch on the security parts whereby most, especially the youth and women, if you are more than 51%, you are a youth or you're a woman, more than 51% in the business. So it helps you to be able, when we give you this finance, we also offer this plan. We offer, it's called alternative lending because other people, they don't have security in their own capacity. However, this alternative lending helps them so that they can survive their business. Number three, on the part of franchise, you said why most black people don't have a franchise. Franchise is an easy business to open. I'll start with that. Why is it easy business to open? If you have an idea and you are approved by the franchisor, then it's easy for us to engage as a bank and whichever bank. I'm not talking about saying ABSA, because already you've been approved. When the franchisee approve you, they give you, like I will make an example. I don't want to go deeper on the franchise. They give you, let me say you are on a hotspot where your business is going to be situated, given by the municipality, wherever you are. So the numbers are there. So the calculation, the projections for the financial structure for the whole business, you are given. So, but yes, we do need security, but however, with the franchise, it's different because we look at the potential of the business, we look at the future projections of the business, and then we help you also to gain the working capital for the business. But however, there must be your own contribution, as even the franchisee, when they give you the approval before you go to the bank and apply for funding, you have to have your own contribution. The different franchises, they have different deposit amount. So you must go and learn about the franchise and learn about it, and then you know that that's an easy business to open, especially if you get approved. Experience is part of the requirements on the business. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. Can we give the mic to May from DECO quickly?
Okay, no, thank you. I'll be quick. I just wanted to respond because when there was talk of the illegal mining, then there was reference to global markets. And just to say, if you noted in my talk, I spoke about illicit financial flows more than once. And that is why the issue of illicit financial flows is one of our priorities for our G20 presidency. Because the money that comes in to fund these things and goes out doesn't come through the Reserve Bank. And it's not only about illegal mining, it's human trafficking, it's rhino poaching, all kinds of transnational organized crime. So if we can find a way of curbing the illicit flow of money, then there'll be no money to fund these operations. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much to my panelists for the great job. I'm going to release you from the hot seat. You can breathe now, you can relax. Thank you for your contributions. Thank you for your input. If you have further questions, okay, you can sit. The mayor, you can sit down. The mayor wants to.
No, thank you very much. I'm going to stand up a bit and probably try looking at all of you so that I don't speak ningangbon. Good afternoon, I think it's afternoon already, and thank you very much for the contributions that you've made as panelists. And obviously, thank you for, I'm not doing a vote of thanks, don't worry. Let me try and respond to some of the questions that were there that perhaps I feel would need a political touch instead of a technocrat type of response, if I will be allowed. I think one of the questions that was asked, perhaps wanting to get information more on young people, I think the first lady that asked the question was asking based on financial assistance that probably should be coming, maybe because you're sitting there at APSA, but also as government, we must be in a position to say that albeit the municipality is not a funding institution, we work together, we work together with other stakeholders. If you're a young person, there's your NYDA that is there that will first give you a grant before they even give loans going forward. You then have your CEDAs that are going to assist in ensuring that your business plans are done correctly. You have your funding that can come from SIFA at a small scale, and then you can go up to even IDC, where you're going to have sufficient funding for bigger industries. That is one thing that perhaps young people in particular, and women and every other person, because the young people are only in NYDA, but when it comes to SIDA, SIFA, and IDC, everyone else is catered for to get that type of funding. I just wanted the House to probably just that information, so it's not only APSA. They are doing skilling, as Linda was saying, capacity building, skills that are developed there, working together with the youth desk of the municipality and the Department of LED. We are going to be able to set you up on those type of meetings so that we can link you up to the other institutions that are there. Speaking of infrastructure development, Mulaudzi has highlighted that we do have infrastructure development. We do have developmental nodes that are there. There is your fresh produce market that is there, your Magistal, and every other thing that we're doing as a municipality or an institution or as government to ensure that Gushala Gupunya Litul in the province and particularly in Mbombela as a city. I think one of the professors was highlighting that as is coming every other 3 months or every other 10 years, there is an element of development. However, what we need to be looking at is sustainability, and we're going to continue, because we are not going to come here and complain. We're going to continue on behalf of yourselves as citizens of Mbombela, then as national government, to ensure, Linda, that we finally have the long-awaited Mbombela Dam, because you can't have investment if you don't have water that is there. It is not sustainable. How are you going to build another mall in White River if there's no water going through to White River? How do you then have infrastructure that is old or aged, and you're not investing in it, and you're expecting to have investors when the electricity is going to be going on and off every other day? That is a commitment from ourselves to say, as the G20 part of the group of 20 countries, we are ensuring that the municipality is going to develop in that fashion, and as a province at large. On cooperative SMMEs, as you have all highlighted, you do get assistance also in the city, albeit not financially, but we are saying, because I think another one was highlighting on street vendors, we're not going to necessarily fund you, but I am sure that some of you have already benefited. Labana makawash batolile ama equipments that are there, those who have whatever saloons are getting equipments, even labachubatinwell. However, we cannot allow you, Bahlali, to build on road reserves, formal structures. You might want to grow your business, but you want to build in a road reserve of the institution. What happens if you want to grow the road into 4 lanes? Because those are road reserves. So there are legal ways for us to be ensuring that as businesses grow, but we grow within the ambits, there are bylaws that are there that needs to be respected as well, and we must adhere to that. Oh, Comrade Tor, Councillor Tor here. Comrade Tor is my comrade, this one. He's forever speaking about one thing. Before the first round was finished, he came to me and said, do not forget to talk about rail. Outside of me just being a train driver, he understands the passion that we have on the rail network. Because other people are going to say she's forever talking about trains because railway because she's a train driver. It has nothing to do with me being a train driver. It has everything to do with the network of transport. It has everything, Linda, to do also with your tourism. Imagine a doctor. You are flying from wherever you're flying, Professor. You land there at the airport. You have a railway there. Perhaps even with a steam train which has not been here for a while. You take the 3 roundabout route, you do your pilgrim's rest and you go that side because there are rails, we just need to ensure that we revive them. Is that not tourism? Is that not something that people would want to come and do? You go to your Kruger Park through that very same railway, but perhaps for a change. We are not using an electric train. We are not using a diesel train. For a change, you go on a steam train and have a different experience. What about having also a fast train that is going to interlink the city, which is at a point going to be a metro, to other subsidiary cities that are there, to all these other tourist destinations that we have, that grows businesses as well in the city, in the province at large, and we are going to be contributing towards the economy of the whole country. So that is part and parcel of what we need to be doing. But at the core of everything else, particularly as young people, particularly as young graduates, we must look at ourselves as people that must be employers, not only who want to be employed. As young graduates, as young people, what type of business are we looking at, Ngala? Because SMMEs are the biggest employers. Government just gives a platform. We must ensure that there are policies, the environment is conducive enough for businesses to thrive, for employment to happen, if I can put it like that. But what are you as a young graduate trying to do or doing? And which doors are you knocking at to ensure that you become a success so that tomorrow Esbengile will be the one who has hired more than 10 people, him or herself. When you hire 10 people, one by one of us here, how many people would have had jobs that are created very sustainable and ensuring that they are going to take care of their families for the rest of their lives? Let us then stop being a generation that is going to be complaining forever and be a generation that is going to be the change that they want to see. All our offices are open, working together with all of you, and we thank you. ABSA has given us as a municipality 100 million. Even if it's not given to the municipality, set aside to say, when you're coming through any deal of the city of Mbombela and you want to start a business, there's 100 million set aside for you there as SMMEs. All of you want to come and want to do kawashis. Again, why doesn't any one of you come and say, Executive Mayor, perhaps, ngifuna kwakha amapin okuconnecta the railway lines. Perhaps I want to do railway slippers, something different. Gune concrete lefaka lapha, what's the ballast? How many of you are thinking about getting into that industry of having ballast? Fikile Mbalula at some point said they are going to revamp the rail network. Who is going to be supplying that? We are seated here only wanting to do illegal work. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mayor Runa, for that intervention. We appreciate your leadership. As she indicated, if you need more information on what she spoke about, the city's doors are open. Go and ask, and then see how your business idea or your business can be assisted. Yes, so you see the city is working. So I think there should also be more collaboration between national and local government, so that we can access this information, also access the money that is available for small businesses, and also empowerment of women, empowerment of youth. And as they said, as the G20 is coming, we should, as the city, we should think about how can we make sure that we are seen and recognized as the city that is at work, that is bursting with full potential. How do we promote our tourism and make sure that we collaborate with like-minded other local municipalities. So, you know, I'm sure DECO can assist in how, you know, the city can engage with other municipalities and the embassies in Pretoria through what we call para-diplomacy. You know, that engagement that can happen at that level. And then also, lastly, I think we also need to take responsibility and ask ourselves, what is it that we can do? How can we become part? Bother the officials, come and ask questions. Tell them what is bothering you, the issues that you see on the road, the street lights that are not working, the potholes, the water that is cut off sometimes. Speak about these issues. Like he said, you know, breaking and destroying infrastructure is not solving anything, but if only we work together to resolve our issues, then we can move forward. Thank you so much, Dade MC. I think my time is over here. I'm gonna sit down.
Who said you must go? Who said you must go? No, thank you so much, Doc. A very robust engagement session. Thank you so much to all the panelists. You did very well. Just one last point. There was a request that please avail your contacts. Contacts, especially you from ABSA and Linda, but I think you do have Linda's contacts and the others. Sure, but thank you so much to the panelists and a very engaging Q&A. What's the price? Are you good? Because the point of before is that if you could please come on stage, do a bit of a wrap up before I have another assignment to do after your vote of thanks. If you could come to the stage, please. He made all of this happen. So letandla tenu ngathi tingana.
Siyabonga sihlalo. Dumelang. Absheni. Sanbonani. Prof, I think now you are happy. They are responding very well. No, thank you very much, Slalo, and colleagues. Let me start with the disclaimer, Executive Mayor. The program director is putting me on an item which is between all of us and lunch. But it is clear, Executive Mayor, that there's still a lot of appetite. And I was talking to colleagues that we do need to come back, Prof. There's still a lot of appetite, and the level of engagement really convinced us that we, beyond G20, we need to come back. And of course, deliberately so, we chose the city, and in our briefing we were saying that your city, and thanks to yourself and the council, that there's no doubt that the city is growing. And we are encouraged by the fact that you are applying the status to become a metro. And we believe that, of course, with the capital that you are generating here, you do deserve to be a metro, and there are many issues that would have been raised in terms of infrastructure development. And I believe that that will be the greatest focus, and would want to see the expansion of the airport as well, so that it goes beyond SADC region. And of course, it goes beyond the continent, so that there is no limitation and the monopolization of the space by your well-known international airport like OR Tambo and King Shaka and so on. And we can draw a lesson from eThekwini because King Shaka started very small, but it has been growing. And of course, I like the fact that there's a population growth. And how you measure growth in other countries, they look at the population growth. Of course, the standard of education becomes a critical role. But I would want to encourage yourself, Executive Mayor, and of course the province. One of the things that we have to change is that these summits cannot be monopolized by the space of Gauteng and Western Cape. But we can only make that argument if at least, and that will be part of the infrastructure which my brother would have raised, we can only make this argument if at least we build International Convention Center. So that becomes very important, that we make an argument if we've got an International Convention Center. And you can imagine if G20 was hosting here. There's just no reason why G20 would be hosted in Nasrec. There's absolutely no reason, because the focus in terms of our economy is in Gauteng. Gauteng to grow does not need G20. Western Cape to grow does not need G20. But with yourself in terms of areas of tourism, no one can compete with you. Gauteng has got nothing. It's got absolutely nothing in terms of tourism. And that is why their tourism strategy would even go to Vilakazi Street. But with yourself, we can have a debate about so many areas of tourism here. You beat Western Cape. Western Cape, it only has a coast. So yourself here, if you have the International Convention Center, so we can make those arguments that one way or the other, we know that we are going to host BRICS. It's going to come back very soon. Yes, perhaps when it comes to G20, it may take a lifetime for G20 to come back. But we are going to make this argument as we go back home, and we said to yourself that part of the argument with my sister here, Ntab saying, is that the Sherpa meeting, the last meeting of Sherpa, should come back here. And that is precisely because we have seen even the appetite. And let me also thank you, my big brother, Prof, on behalf of the university, and pass our regard to the VC as well. Because when she did this launch, she made a commitment that we are going to move with provinces. We should be going to eThekwini after Mbombela, and we'll see other metros that we are going to engage with. And let me also thank my sister Ntab Singh for giving us a context and, of course, the state of readiness in terms of G20. We really appreciate yourself. And may I appreciate the panel in terms of the level of discussion, and that's where we have seen that the appetite is much higher. We could have gone beyond that. And I would like to see, in particular from Absa Bank, and thanks for the work that you are doing. And I think that is my sister who had made a first input, who is owning a small business, who asked about the question of training. So let's use this network. When you take pride when you see young women growing into the space, especially markets that are dominated by males, so to speak. When you see young women getting into that space, that is very encouraging. Countries like India, when they measure their GDP, in the main, it's on small business. And unfortunately, ourselves, Executive Mayor, we concentrate on big corporates or multinational companies. So we want to break that. And yourself, you are growing because of this small business here. So we really appreciate that, my sister, Dr. Bongiwe, for facilitating this question and answer session. And of course, more than that, it was just an engagement, because I have seen and heard a lot of input as well, more than just a question. And how you have wrapped out, Executive Mayor, we are very much proud of yourself as we are celebrating the Women's Month. That really gives us a courage when young women see yourself and they believe that it is possible. It is possible. They don't have to be politicians. They have to be CEOs of companies. They have to be managing directors. But when they see you as a woman leading such a wonderful city, which is having this kind of development. It encourages women. But ngicela ukuthi sisayilihla izandla abomama bethu who gave us such a wonderful songs. So proud of them. So proud of them. And it is clear as I conclude, Executive Mayor, that what we have had here, it seems there are sectors that needs to be regulated. The hospitality sector, I don't see a need why government should not regulate that for South Africans. If you talk about illicit financial flow, yes, you may have a problem when it comes to listed companies. But the worst thing that can happen in any country is when money is crossing the border that comes from the hospitality sector. So that sector has to be regulated for young people. Why would a restaurant be a sector that needs competition? It's not a sector that needs a skill, a rare skill in terms of the, as per the policy of immigration, of Home Affairs and Department of Labor. Those are issues, of course, that requires national debate in terms of regulating certain sectors. But I would like to believe that these are sectors that we have to look at very closely, that even if ABSA is assisting, there is no unnecessary competition that is being created. Yes, we can open up competition when it comes to listed companies. But when it comes to SMEs, there must be a protection. America is doing protection at the highest level. We are failing to do a protection at the lowest level, the grassroots economy, your most important economy in terms of contribution to the GDP. So let me thank you once again, colleagues, in particular yourself, for your hospitality. Executive Mayor, I'm not really behind the concept. There's a gentleman right at the back, Executive Mayor, called Mandla Masile. But I realized that he wanted to come here in particular to access Kruger National Park. So he's using government platform. And of course, Kruger National Park, in terms of accessibility, you are that city. More gates may be in Limpopo, but yourself, because of accessibility, that is why most of us, we use the gates that are in your city. And thank you very much, colleagues, and God bless you.
Thank you so much, Putsa Price, for all those kind words. In closing, the group at the back, if you could please be ready, could I request the Executive Mayor to come on stage, as well as Menta Biseng to come on stage, as well as Prof. Mamba, to do a little bit of an exercise. If you could just stand there, Executive Mayor, you know, the power of the microphone. I instruct my boss where to go and... Thank you so much, Executive Mayor. Could I, from the panelists, could I request Ms. Ndulwandle to come forward? We just want to say thank you for having participated in the panel. Executive Mayor, if we could do the... Yeah, sale let's go on my phone. Sale si ishwambaganya len. Sale si ishwambaganya len. All right, Edmond, please come forward. Dr. Mlahleki, bamangala bathi akude lo ubhalwe Mlahleki la Sambo. Orong Mangan. Yeah, Mangan, as well as Linda, please come forward. Thank you so much for Thank you, Executive Mayor. You are released. With that, he can't be thanking himself. Ladies and gentlemen, please give yourself a round of applause. You've been a wonderful audience. You've made my job very simple and easy. And thanks for having participated. Now, a few announcements for item 17. We are still going to observe protocol. Protocol. Awuhambi phambi kwesidumbu yabona kuba ifamily late emva kwesidumbu and all of that. So we are also going to observe protocol even here. Our dignitaries and the honorable councillors and Ndosebenzisa lo mnyango lona when we go out and we are going to join you at the cafeteria, which is behind me. And these doors will be used by myself and all of us as we receive the much-awaited lunch. But with that, we want to take this opportunity and thank all of you for having come and participated. We really are excited. We're looking forward to all these opportunities that will be opened by this summit that will be at our shores in November. But of course, there are these continuing working groups, that, some of which we have already hosted as a city, and we are very happy and excited about it. Magelinda, if you could, yeah, Langzamane, if you could please lead your team that way, and who's leading my other team to the back, or Stovolangele Minyang. In the order, let's figure ngayo, Executive Mayor, as the first citizen. Yeah, we can do it. Oh, okay. No, we're going to bring her here. Yeah, we're going to bring her here. But thank you so much. No, thanks for coming.
No, we should come back.
No, definitely. I know we.
Yes.
No.
Yeah, we should. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure, my brother.